putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Security, get him off the stage.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. That was a speaker at a St. Louis event, a black dude. And if you see the video, they're wearing something that says "Go Trump," and you got to understand they got permits. You could hear the national anthem being played. Of course, Kaepernick was taking a knee, and Black Lives Matter comes to the event and goes on stage and starts trying to upstage him. And you hear him saying, "Get him out of here! Get security!" and all this. And then you hear people chanting, "All lives matter. All lives matter." Now, let me tell you what the significance of this is. The significance of this is you have this very diverse group. If you see the video, whites, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, I mean, I don't know what the mix is, but it looks like it's being put on by blacks, by a black group, people dressed in American flags. There's no negativity at this event. And then Black Lives Matter comes in and crashes it. And people start chanting "All Lives Matter." Now, the All Lives Matter movement that never really existed because it shouldn't have to in America. I just want you to remember Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, said, "I don't see anything wrong with All Lives Matter," and later apologized on Twitter. A couple of other people have done that. High profile folks that understand all lives matter. Black Lives Matter is racist, and the group is a terror group. And people are still afraid to say anything against it, to say all lives matter. "Oh, well, you don't understand. Black lives matter." No, black lives don't matter any more than any other life. And black lives, if they mattered, black folks would care about other black people. Black folks would care about white folks, as opposed to the racism that they spew out every day. And they will try to separate themselves under the false, fake notion, fraudulent notion that blacks are killed disproportionately compared to other races. In fact, it is quite not the truth. When you accept Black Lives Matter, you are saying, "I believe the lie that black people are being killed indiscriminately by police," number one. And number two, and more per capita with respect to the amount of crime committed by blacks. Both of those are completely not true. The black people, and it's sad to say, but a small percentage, less than 5% of this population, is committing 40 to 50% of the crime, depending upon whose stats you use, whether it's the FBI or some other criminal organization that looks at criminal activity. But it's a high percentage. And even if you just if you put the entire black population, if we're committing 40 to 50% of the crime at 13% of the population, it's really bad. But the fact is, the overwhelming majority of blacks are very good folks, very good Americans that aren't committing crimes. They're doing amazing things. And so it's a small percentage of the population. And again, somewhere between 3 to 5%, depending upon which study you look at. That is a small amount of people committing a lot of crime. And for people to say the cops are targeting these boys, targeting these people, is crazy. So anybody that accepts that is accepting crazy and wants us, and I'm speaking of black folks, to believe this lie, to jump on the bandwagon of Black Lives Matter under the guise of a lie. It's the same thing that says, "Michael Brown, that boy had his hands up and he was surrendering. That cop just came up and shot him in cold blood." Lie. Lies on top of lies. So you get this group peacefully protesting. I mean, in peaceful assembly, they weren't protesting anything. It was a pro-Trump rally, it looked like. It was a healing moment for St. Louis to say, look, let's stop all this violence, stop all this nonsense over these thugs that are getting killed, and let's start loving each other. And Black Lives Matter shows up. let me tell you, folks, whether it's Antifa, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's Occupy Wall Street, you name it, these leftists are showing their colors and it's backfiring. In the old days, these guys could come out, they'd comment, they would disrupt. And by the way, the marches against this Stockley in St. Louis continue, and they're disrupting traffic, they're disrupting businesses, they're trying to do it in such a way that you don't know where they're going to be. And so they want St. Louis to be afraid on lockdown. All this is backfiring. And what you're going to see is, and here's what I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. This is how you look for it. It's already happening, and I'll explain it in a second. You look for it when the left itself starts to go against the grain. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a black kid, I think his name was Deontay. He was interviewing with CNN, and the CNN person says, so explain to me why you would be out here with these people. I believe it was in D.C. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm with Trump people. He goes, these are great folks. He goes, I got to see people that are my Facebook friends that I never met. And I met them here. And they even, they embraced me. It was like, hey, Deontay, we're Facebook friends. By the way, I can attest to that. I've been in D.C. and places, and people say, Kevin, we're Facebook friends. And I go, oh, great. It's unfortunate that I have too many friends. I don't know who they are. That sounded kind of cocky. What I meant is, I have so many friends, I don't know them, but they know me. So I'll be places and they'll come up and go, hey, Kevin, we're Facebook friends. And I go, fantastic. And we do a selfie or whatever, and, or take a picture. Somebody takes a picture of us, yada, yada. It's no big deal. But here's the thing. This kid, he's a black kid. CNN still finds it incredible that black people like Donald Trump. And let me let you guys in on a secret. More black people than you think like Donald Trump. More black people than they're willing to tell you like Donald Trump. Folks, I'm traveling all over the country. I ask. I'm not the guy that just sits around and goes, I wonder what I could do while I'm in, Tupelo, Mississippi. I go around and I talk to people. I go, hey, out of curiosity, man, what do you think about Trump? Oh, bruh, I like Trump. And I get, this is the reaction I get. I either get a dude to look around and then go, man, I like Trump, and whisper it, or they'll go, I like him. Now, I get more the whisper campaign than I get the other one. But people, black folks like Trump. And you know what the next thing they tell you? They go, I certainly don't like that other girl, the other chick. They don't like Hillary. They immediately dismiss her. When that changes to where they don't like Democrats, the Republicans win. But here's what I'm telling you. They're not saying, I don't like Democrats. It's a personality. I don't like her, and I like him. The Republicans better learn their lesson over this. They don't like the Republican Party, but they like Trump. And by the way, they're going to be liking the Tea Party. And I'm going to, whether President Trump says it or not, he's going to be endorsing the Tea Party, because I'm a part of that. I'm going to set this meeting up with him for Tea Party community. You guys, you can, I don't know what you think about this, but if you doubt that I will do this, you'd be dead wrong. I will have a meeting with the president and get him to endorse the Tea Party community and have him embrace us. And it's going to send shockwaves. It'll send shockwaves too, but it's going to send them into the Republican Party and into the Democrat establishment. And it's going to be a big deal for a lot of folks. But that's what we're going to do, because it's long overdue. Anyway, I got to tell you, this meeting, this thing that happened in St. Louis has to have the Democrats very fearful. It also has to have the Republicans very fearful. People are not doing rallies for Republicans. If it weren't for the fact that the Republicans had established stuff, here's how we do our conventions, here's how we do our, fundraisers, etc. If it weren't for the establishment stuff, they'd be gone. And I'm telling you right now, it isn't long for them to continue behaving as they do, or they will be gone anyway. And once Trump continues making these overtures to the left that says, hey, look, you want to work and get stuff accomplished and be considered good people, I'll leave these suckers behind. When that hits, I'm telling you, you're going to see the Republicans finally gather themselves and go, you know what, we got to change our tactics. We can't be doing this any longer, but it can't be temporary. We got to make them stick to it.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.